Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at York City Council for February 6, 2024 council meeting. We will open up with public comment. Just a reminder that if you do have public comment, it is for any items that are not on the agenda, and we ask for you to please complete the public comment form. Up first, I have Marilyn Hake.
Hi, Marilyn Hake, 18 South George Street. I wasn't sure if this was the proper place, but I walk in the city and on the rail trail a lot. And this past week when I was walking there, just off of Kings Mill, almost in front of the ice company there, there is an encampment of homeless, which it is so tragic that we have citizens in our city that are forced to live there. But the debris and the trash that they are leaving behind stretches far beyond where their tents are. And we're encouraging people to use this part of the rail trail up in our city, and it's just horrible. I took pictures, but I wasn't even quite sure who to send them to, who is responsible. I would hate to be the person to have to clean it up, but if there is a city cleanup, be willing to help. So I'm just bringing this up tonight, and maybe you can tell me, who do you notify of how huge this is? It is big. Where did you say it was, Marilyn? It's right down, if you're going towards the city off of Kings Mill. It's right in front of Arctic Ice, like right there where all the trees are. Mm-hmm. But there's several tents, but the debris and the garbage stretches for quite a bit. And it's all visible from the rail trail.
I was with Marilyn, Ms. Hake, when on that walk, and it's just... Again, it's horrible that people are living this way, but the filth, it has to be a health hazard. Just the trash strewn all the way down. And we've had some other complaints before. Where are we directing those to?
They will all be directed to the administration.
Oh, really? So,
yes.
Like to Scott? Send it over?
Yes, and if you can give me your phone number, we can give them your phone number and they can reach out to you.
Oh, okay.
Or email address.
Or email address.
Scott does have that, so if that's the person, I'll send the pictures to him.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Next for public comment, we have Derek. I can't read the handwriting. Esquire Manifor. Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Derek Manifor. I'm with CGA Law Firm here in York. I represent Mr. Saccarellos, Themi Saccarellos, who is a developer in the community, owns a number of businesses, including Round the Clock Diner, right off of Route 30 and sort of in the Locks Mill Road vicinity. The reason I'm here this evening is because Mr. Saccarellos is interested in purchasing or leasing the property located at 1601 Torrenita, which is very close to Round the Clock Diner, I believe, just a matter of meters away from it. Catty-cornered. So he's interested in purchasing or leasing this property from the city. He's developed in the surrounding area. He has his diner there. Notices that the area has fallen into disrepair, believes that he can improve that area, and he has an economic interest, a direct economic interest in doing so with his business in the area. He's willing to pay market rates for a lease or the purchase of the property. There's been some communication with the solicitor's office from another attorney at CGA about the prospect of doing this. However, we also wanted to bring it to the council's attention just to put it on the record and make it clear that he wants to go somewhere with this property. He wants to either lease it or purchase it from the city so that he can develop it, and I believe, has quite a successful track record in doing so. So, is there anything you'd like to add as well?
Good evening. Hi, my name's Themi Saccarellos.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
My name is Themi, Themi Saccarellos, and as Derek had just mentioned, I've spent the last 30 years of my life building the diner, but I'm also building the business. But more urgently is the property, the former San Carlos, that I'm redoing. And it's a very big restaurant, and I see a need for not only additional parking for both the diner its employees and for the new restaurant that we're going to open at the San Carlos. For example, the diner has about 130 employees, and I anticipate probably 150 for the San Carlos reopening. So there's a lot of parking that I see, and I see the property in disrepair, as Derek had mentioned, the trucking facility, and I hope that I can put my best, and I'm not asking for a special favor, I'm asking for the opportunity to make it better and hopefully a win-win situation between the city and the community. And as Derek had mentioned, I have developed a lot of that area. The former Bob Evans was one of the properties we rebuilt as a Starbucks Plaza. Across the street from the Starbucks and the former Bob Evans, I had redeveloped all of those homes that were in disrepair that we changed over to the Sheets gas station, the Cheddar's restaurant, and the hotel in the back. So I hope that you will take me serious, and I'd like that opportunity to redevelop that property, and as Derek has mentioned, either purchase or lease it, please, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be sure to share this information with the administration, with our Economic and Community Development Department, and Attorney Manafort. I see we have your contact information here. Sure. You're welcome. Do we have anyone else this evening for public comment? Yes.
She's on the agenda, though.
Okay, all right. So we have no one else this evening for public comment? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Closing our public comment section of the meeting, we will now call legislative meeting to order. Clerk Thompson, roll call.
Bub. Here. Buckingham.
Here.
John Askew.
Here.
Dennis.
Here.
Washington.
Here. May we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance for those who can stand.
So at the back of the room now.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Is there any action on our previous meetings from January 2nd, 2024 and January 24th, 2024 from our committee meeting?
I have none.
None. Thank you. Moving along to presentations, awards, and announcements. We have a proclamation this evening proclaiming January 2024 as Poverty Awareness Month in the city of York, Pennsylvania, submitted by the Community Progress Council.
Who's here for that? Robin? Here you go. Here's the proclamation. Did you want us to read this into the record, or would you like to?
I would rather you read
Okay. You want me to, or you want to? Huh? She's probably a better reader than I am.
Proclaiming January as Poverty Awareness Month in the city of York, Pennsylvania. Whereas National Poverty Awareness Month, an annual observance held in January, was created to call attention to the impact of poverty in America. And whereas currently 28.7% of York City residents live in poverty, with 2 in 5 children in York City live below the federal poverty line, unable to meet basic needs, including food, clothing, and shelter. And whereas National Poverty Awareness Month is an opportunity to highlight Community Progress Council's commitment to ending poverty in York by empowering individuals and families to move forward toward economic self-sufficiency. And whereas realizing many factors can impact a family's economic situation and the path out of poverty is different for every individual or family, Community Progress Council has developed programs, partnerships, and resources to support each unique journey. And whereas through early childhood education, women, infants, and children, WIC services in 2023, Community Progress Council serves 6,454 children living in poverty and their families. And whereas Community Progress Council, as the largest provider of these services to low-income families and children under the age of 5, has the unique opportunity to interrupt generational poverty. And whereas progress towards economic self-sufficiency requires comprehensive integrated services, and Community Progress Council has the leadership and the expertise to lead the way. And whereas individuals engaged in intensive coaching through Community Progress Council achieved an average increase of $9,595 in individual income over a 12-month period. And whereas Community Progress Council coaches residents to self-sufficiency, enabling them to live free from public supports and allowing the city to reinvest in the community elsewhere. Now, therefore, we, the members of York City Council, do hereby proclaim January as National Poverty Awareness Month in the City of York, and we recognize the impact of Community Progress Council in York, and we invite the community to support the critical work of the Community Progress Council in raising awareness and ending poverty in our community. It is presented on behalf of each council member present here and signed this day. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Council President Washington, and all the members of City Council. I'd like to make a few comments, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you, first of all, for rescheduling this. We had it scheduled for January. Obviously, we're a couple of days beyond January and had to reschedule for some reason, so I appreciate your willingness to do that. My name is Robin Rohrbaugh. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Community Progress Council. For those who don't know, Community Progress Council is York County's community action agency. Our mission is to empower families to move towards self-sufficiency and to advocate for change to promote community growth. People frequently know Community Progress Council because we are the Head Start provider or because we provide WIC, or frequently folks benefit from our housing programs. But as you noted, we served nearly 16,000 people last year across York County. Over half of those folks were York City residents. We're here to recognize Poverty Awareness Month, but you'll notice that our mission statement doesn't say anything about poverty. 42,000 people in York County live below the poverty level. An additional 150,000 people, or nearly 1 in 3 residents of York County, our neighbors, live below the self-sufficiency standard. That means that they cannot make their bills every month without some level of public or private assistance. It is our job then to help those folks get ahead in their lives. People living in poverty or just above it often experience multiple barriers to financial self-sufficiency. At Community Progress Council, we take a unique approach to those challenges and focus on providing comprehensive integrated services. We look at how those barriers to self-sufficiency interact. How, if transportation or childcare isn't stable, employment then is at risk and people can't maintain employment. We look at how people's knowledge of budgeting can impact their use of credit, their wise use of credit, how they address an unexpected expense, or how they save for the future. Comprehensive integrated services work. We empower people to reach economic self-sufficiency. We at Community Progress Council, based on the number of low-income families that we serve with children under the age of 5, have a wonderful opportunity to interrupt generational poverty and change the lives of those families and the children in York County for the rest of their lives. Our intention for services in the City of York is to co-locate the programs that we operate out of our 226 East College Avenue location, our Cottage Place location, and our West Market Street location. Cottage Place is our early Head Start. West Market Street is our WIC program. By co-locating all of those services under one roof, we will improve our ability to deliver comprehensive integrated services, particularly to low-income families with very young children, and will have an even greater impact on those families' lives. This effort is going to require support from many stakeholders in New York City and beyond, and we look forward to partnering with you and working with you to support greater outcomes for families in York County. We want to thank City Council members for supporting the work that we do at Community Progress Council and invite the community to join us in our efforts to help people achieve financial self-sufficiency. A special thank you to City Council member Betsy Buckingham, who sits on our board of directors. Thank you very much. I look at the room and I have lots of board members, former board members here, so be careful. You know, you're all game. Together, I think we can help families in New York City and across York County to make progress, not just for the moment, but for a life. Thank you very much for your time this evening, and thank you for the proclamation.
Thank you, and thank you for the work that you do in our community.
Here you go, Robin. You can have that. There you go.
Moving along, our next legislative meeting of council is scheduled for Tuesday, February the 20th at 6 p.m. here in council chambers. Agenda items are due by 12 noon on February 14th. For council committee meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February the 28th, 2024 at 6 p.m. here in council chambers. All agenda items are due by 12 noon on February 21st. Moving along, we do have an update and status of our prior committee referrals. In regards to our Rules and Administrative Code Committee, at our January 24th, 2024 committee meeting, legislation was discussed to amend Article 725, Firearms and Weapons, of the codified ordinances to regulate the discharging of firearms in the city and the switchblade possession. By a majority vote of the committee, the legislation was voted to remain in committee for further discussion. On January 26, 2024, a request was submitted via email from Police Commissioner Muldrow to withdraw the legislation from consideration. Therefore, the legislation will be allowed to die in committee. Thank you. We have no final passage of bills and resolutions. So moving along to our introduction of bills and resolutions, we have an introduction of a bill amending the fiscal year 2024 budget for the Bureau of Health. Move to approve.
You say so introduced.
Oh, so introduced.
And that's Bill number 1, amending the fiscal year 2024 budget for the Bureau of Health by appropriating additional revenue and expenditures for the tuberculosis program in the amount of $21,569, the HIV prevention program in the amount of $36,000, and for Act 12 and Act 315 funding in the amount of $53,888.64.
Thank you. That is a bill, and it will sit. Moving along, we have introduction of Bill number 2, amending the fiscal year 2024 city budget for the Office of Information Technology.
So introduced.
Bill number 2, introduced by Betsy Buckingham, a bill amending the fiscal year 2024 budget for the Office of Information Technology by appropriating money not otherwise appropriated for other professional services from Fund 70 Internal Services in the amount of $315,000.
And that is a bill, and it will sit as well. Moving along, we have introduction of Bill number 3, amending the fiscal year 2024 city budget for the York City Human Relations Commission.
So introduced.
Okay, and that is, I wanted to explain too, with that $315,000 budget amendment, that is for a wireless redundancy, what is it called, like system or something like that? Yeah, wireless redundancy system that has to do with our internet. All right, and was Bill number 3 already introduced?
Yes.
Okay, and that's Bill number 3, amending the 2024 budget for the York City Human Relations Commission by appropriating money not otherwise appropriated for the Holiday Diversity Luncheon Fund 26 special projects in the amount of $8,180.65.
And that is a bill, and it will sit. Up next, we have a resolution authorizing the placement of a memorial at Veterans Memorial Park.
So introduced.
And that will be resolution number 9, and that was introduced by Teresa Jonescu. And give me one second here. Okay. Is there a motion to read by short title, or would you like this read at length? For those who wish to read by short title only, say yes.
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 No, say, if no, say no. No, okay, so we have one no, so the yeses win. And that is a resolution authorizing the placement of a memorial for the 4 chaplains and Coast Guardsman Charles Walter David Jr. in the Veterans Memorial Park.
So move for a vote.
Second. It's been moved and seconded.
We vote on that tonight?
Yes, that's
Yes.
just the resolution, yeah. Councilwoman Jonescu contacted me, and she would have liked to showcase that resolution, so I just pulled it out of the consent agenda to allow.
I can go ahead and make a few comments.
Okay.
In committee, I have to give credit to Susan Burns and Frank Dittenhafer for presenting the plans for this memorial. You can probably go online and view this and see what we are authorizing is the placement of a 4 chaplains and Coast Guardsmen, look at this name, Charles Walker David Jr. Memorial at the Veterans Memorial Gold Star Healing and Peace Garden. All 5 of these men gave their lives to save others with the sinking of the USS Dorchester off the coast of Greenland during World War II. All men received medals and honors posthumously. And I think, this memorial will commemorate, will educate. It's a reminder of the sacrifice and a reminder of the role York plays in any historical event and anything going on in our bigger world. So I'm really pleased that we have an opportunity to support this memorial.
Thank you.
Okay. Any comment from the public?
Is there any comment from the public?
Hi, I'm Jody Keller, and I am on the 4 Chaplains Board, and I wanted to personally thank you for considering this and for making this honor to the 4 chaplains and bringing it to life in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further comment from council?
None.
All right. And now I'll call for the vote. Bub?
Yes.
Jonescu?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Buckingham?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
All right. Next on the agenda, we have several items for consideration of a consent agenda, and that is resolution accepting the recommendations of HARB, the appointment and reappointment of members to boards and authorities, amending non-sufficient fund and stop payment fees to change it from $35 to $40, appointing probationary firefighters, authorizing a budget transfer in the amount of $152,000, $152,053.90 for public health emergency preparedness, and authorizing agreement with Willis of PA for workers' comp and general liability insurance, and a resolution authorizing various agreements for various insurances. Does council wish to remove or pull any of these items from the consent agenda?
I have none.
I have none.
I have none.
None.
All right. Is there a motion to consider agenda items 5 through 11 as a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Give me just one second here, folks. It was made by you, Betsy?
Yes.
And seconded by Dennis?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any council comment on any of the consent agenda items?
I have none.
No.
None.
Is there any administration comment? Any comment from the public? All right, there being none, is there a motion to approve the items 5 through 11 on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. I will call the roll on approving said items. Bub?
Yes.
John Askew?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Buckingham?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Clerk Thompson. Do we have any requests for future meetings?
No.
Is there any council comment this evening?
Yeah, yes, if I may.
Sure.
Hi. Matt Jackson has the Valley, People Power and Caring Communities in the Susquehanna Valley. He reached out to me, and I think maybe others, to talk about a resolution related to poverty, as he knew that there was also the Poverty Awareness Week. His focus, and I just want to briefly share it for information. I don't have a plan for action at this time, just sharing information. His focus is on guaranteed incomes and says that mayors and counties are doing a national roadshow and screenings of a movie related to guaranteed income. He's interested in South Central PA being a part of the conversation related to guaranteed income, and asks, can we end poverty in our time? Pilot programs are running in other cities, he says, and we could have them here in the Valley. He says that poverty, along with militarism and bigotry, was one head of the three-headed monster that the beloved community, as the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. envisioned it, aims to slay. He says poverty is a great cancer in our communities, which you concur and gave great examples of the difficulty that it plays. He referred me, and I'm sharing it with others, to watch the trailer for an acclaimed, eye-opening, heart-wrenching film called It's Basic by Mark Levin. I guess on the web, www.guaranteedincomeworks.org. He's interested in showing a documentary called It's Basic, www.itsbasicdocumentary.com. And he's looking for a resolution from the city. But we can all think about this, educate ourselves a little bit about guaranteed income. And he also reminds us that the Poor People's Campaign, which is a national call for moral revival, has a mobilization event in Harrisburg the beginning of March. If you want to join that, you can find that on the internet. And I will leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Council comment? I apologize.
Just want to remind everybody that this month is Black History Month. Make sure that we embrace the Black history that we also have right here in our York City community and abroad, and that we have a great month.
Thank you. I would just like to publicly congratulate Vice President Buckingham. She will be receiving an award on Sunday at the annual African American Love Feast event for her continuous work in our community. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there any comment from the administration?
Yeah, I just wanted to share an update in terms of the concerns about the trash condition on the rail trail. I was told that administration is aware and that there is a cleanup scheduled for next week. So feel free to submit any concerns to Scott Miller in the the mayor's office, chief of staff, so he keeps apprised of the situation, but they are aware and they are working on a solution to address the issue.
Thank you. Okay. There's no more administration comment. Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.